What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday. Hope all you're having a great day so far today. Getting into this episode of GH, it was good to see Bobby. It's always great to see a veteran. Um, this court battle is gonna be a hot mess. I'm gonna say that much. Carly is hoping that the judge is gonna take the article into consideration. That'll make him sway, and find in favor of Michael and Willow. I mean, obviously the judge is gonna read the article. But I feel like the judge is not going to go base their decision based off that article. Like, I feel like they're probably going to ask Nina questions regarding the things that are in that article. Because, mind you, everything that's pretty much been put in that article is public knowledge. It's not like nobody in town don't know about it. It's not like public officials don't know about it. I'm pretty sure everybody knows about most of the stuff that's in that article. Um, Especially if you live in that town, like you know most of the crap that's in that article. But I'm pretty sure the judge is probably gonna be fair and allow Nina to defend what was put in that article and get her side of the story to it, even though everything in there is pretty much factual. At least get her side of the story, like why it happened, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Where are you at mentally today? Questions like that. Maybe they will, maybe the judge won't. Um, Bobby pointed out though that could bring out the protective side of Sonny, and Sonny's gonna want to throw his support behind Nina and try to protect her and stuff. And Bobby was like, if that happens, then that means you and Sonny aren't getting back together. My thing is, Carly shouldn't want to get back with Sonny at no point in time. I don't think they should ever get back together, my personal opinion, because when you've been through so many damn marriages and divorces with just this one person, that should tell you like, all right, last time was the last time. You know what I mean? Um, that should be it. I don't see why Carly would want him back. I don't see why Sonny would want her back. It's like y'all are not good for each other. Walk away. You know what I mean? Do I think they'll probably get back together in the future? Probably. They've been through worse shit than this, so I wouldn't be shocked. But yeah, Bobby shouldn't even want her daughter back with him, to be quite honest. Like, Bobby should be thanking the good Lord and the baby Jesus that her daughter walked away. You know what I mean? Like, be grateful for it. Um, this war between Carly and Nina, it's not going anywhere. Like, Carly subliminally made that clear because Bobby was like, "So what are you going to do if the judge sides in Nina's favor?" Carly simply said, "Listen, I'm going to protect my family." And we all know what that means because Carly is fed up. She doesn't want Nina nowhere near Wiley because she doesn't want Nina feeding that little boy lies and, filling his head up with junk. Especially telling him things about Nell that's not true, like, oh, she's the saint, she was a good woman. We all know that wasn't true. And I have a feeling I do agree with Carly on that. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my biggest concern about Nina being around him. Because I feel like she's gonna be filling his head up with garbage, trying to put a spin on things that are not true. Like trying to paint Nell as a good person when in reality she never was. You know what I'm saying? Like she was the devil incarnate. Like that girl manipulated and used everybody. And I do mean everybody. Anybody around her, she used. You know? Even people who genuinely try to like her, she still used them. You know what I mean? So there was nothing genuine about Nell. So that's my only issue. Like, and that's why I felt like Nina should always had supervised visits, so that way people can monitor her. But it's definitely gonna be a hot mess between her and Carly. Nina and Carly is gonna be a hot mess. Like this feud ain't going nowhere. It's gonna be a battle. At this point, I'm ready for them to just fight and call it a day. You know what I mean? I'm tired of the whole tit for tat. You know what I mean? Like let's just knuckle up and get it over with. Set up a little boxing ring or something. Let y'all just get down to it. So anyway, moving on from that. When Sonny met up with Nina at the Savoy, I totally understand where Sonny's coming from, where Michael is concerned. I get where he's coming from as far as like not backing down from Michael. I totally get it because he knows that Michael's trying to destroy him. He's trying to destroy his organization, and Sonny's not having it. And I don't blame him because Sonny took 30 years to build up that organization to where it is today, to be powerful. You know what I'm saying? There's no way in hell he's not going to let Michael or anybody destroy 30 years of work. You know what I'm saying? He's not about to let that happen. There's a lot of people in the family who died or got hurt because Sonny was building his empire. And if Michael were to destroy all that, that means all those lives that were affected by all of this stuff, including his, would have all been for naught. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get it. It's a criminal organization. You know what I'm saying? Every organization got to fall at some point. But, you still got organizations in real life that's still around. You know what I'm saying? The Gambino crime family is still around. Like, a lot of them are still around. Um, but I get it. Sonny's not about to let Michael bully him. And I totally get it. As much as he wants to reconcile with Michael, he's not about to just sit back and allow Michael, just to do whatever he want. He's not about to be that boy's punching bag. And I respect it. I totally do. But I feel like at some point will Michael and Sonny reconcile their relationship? Maybe. There's always a maybe there because they've done it before, even when stuff got bad. Like things like shit between Michael and Sonny were way worse than what they are now. And they reconciled. So I can see them reconciling in the future. My whole thing is Michael shouldn't take it too far. I understand he's angry. Like, people come in my comments saying, well, he has a right. I never said that Michael didn't have a right to be upset. He does. My thing is, I feel he's taking this a step too far. Like, it's one thing to be angry and cut Sonny out of your life. If that's what you want to do, cool. But you actively trying to destroy him, it can get dangerous, is my point. Because, like I said, Sonny can be volatile. And it might come a point where Sonny will just say, fuck it, forget that you're his son, and take matters into his own hands. He might just do that. You never know with Sonny. You know what I'm saying? People saying, well, if he did that, then Carly would... Listen, Sonny, at this point, he cares about Carly, but he's a whole different mindset right now than what he was prior to Nixon Falls. And even Carly acknowledged that. He's different. And that's what people got to think. Like, yeah, he's different now. Like, would he ever want to put hands on his child? No. Hell no. But he's not about to sit back and just let Michael try to destroy him. He's going to do something. And we don't know what that something could be. You know what I'm saying? It might lead to something dangerous. We don't know. My biggest issue with Sonny was him talking about, well, since Michael wants nothing to do with me, I was going to go to the court to support him. But now since he wants nothing to do with me, I'm going to support you. Sonny, don't do that. Don't do that, Sonny. Be Switzerland. Just stand in the middle, say nothing, do nothing. Like, don't insert yourself in this. Don't throw your support behind either one at this point. Just don't even show up to the court hearing unless you're called in to testify. Don't do that. Like, you are just making things worse right about now. Like, dude, don't do it. I mean, I respect the fact that he's not just sitting back and letting Michael destroy him, but he has to remember that's still his son, and it's like, as far as this court battle go, just say nothing, do nothing. You know what I mean? Like, you're just, picking this girl over your son and stuff, and it's like, fall back. You know what I mean? You don't even need to be at the court hearing it. Don't go, or just go and just sit way in the back somewhere. Don't say nothing. That's what I would have done, because I'm like, nah, brother, you just causing more pain now. Like, that's all Sonny's doing at this point. He's just being messy. So anyway, moving on from that, I love that Portia, Epiphany, and Stella were having a ladies' night out. It was cute. I loved it. And I'm glad that they're supportive of, Epiphany becoming a doctor. I love this new career move for her. I think it's long overdue. For her to have a change in her life and stuff like that. I think it's pretty dope. I'm happy for Epiphany. And I totally agree with Stella. I feel like Marshall would be a fool to let Epiphany slip through his fingers. I think he would be a dummy. That's a good woman right there. So if he ever does come back to Port Charles, hopefully he come back correct. He's ready to be honest with everybody in the family, tell them whatever secrets he's still hiding from back in the day, just be open and honest. But I wouldn't mind him and Piff at this point. I feel like Piff need love, but with the right person, because Epiphany ain't got time for that foolishness. But yeah, man, I'm thrilled, man, for her. And I'm happy that they had this girls' night out. It was so freaking cute. I loved it. Them just turning up, having some drinks. Sonny paid for the drinks. I said, all right. I loved it. We need more of that bonding, all them friends hanging out and stuff. We need more. So moving on from that, Marshall, of course, wasn't too happy that Molly and TJ tracked him down. So Molly, of course, left to let TJ and Marshall hash things out. Marshall doesn't want to come back to Port Charles because he feels like he just leaves destruction. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just gonna make things worse if he goes back. Um, my thing is, you're not gonna leave destruction if you just put everything out on the table. Just tell Curtis everything. You know what I'm saying? Just don't leave nothing unsaid. Just go back, fix it. You know, tell him everything that happened back in the day. Whatever questions he have, you should be open to answer. You know, it's been over 40 years. You know, you should just be open and honest with him, and y'all can move forward. You know, ain't no sense keeping no secrets. Um, so they were gonna, go to, the little jazz club or whatever to meet up with Molly, and they got stopped in the alley by some muggers. And the muggers wanted, the clarinet that TJ had or whatever that Marshall gave him. Of course, TJ didn't want to give it up. I'm like, no, TJ, give that man what he want. Anybody with some sense, no. If somebody trying to rob you, don't fight with them. Give it up because you putting yourself and somebody else that you with in jeopardy. I'm like, boy, give it up. Okay, it's a clarinet. It's a case, whatever. Give it up. Like it ain't worth dying over. Trust me, it is not worth getting stabbed over because that man done pulled out a knife. I'm like, it ain't worth all that, bro. It is not. You can get another one. It's not that serious, TJ. Not to be losing your life or getting your grandpa stabbed up. I'm just saying. I wish people would really stop saying Marshall is not TJ grandfather. Okay, biologically, no, that's not his grandfather. But he was raised a Ashford, so therefore that's still his grandfather. Like, come on now. Stop the foolishness. Um so anyway, moving on from that, I knew it. I knew this whole doggone time Liz had to be doing something to herself because something in the milk just wasn't clean. Like every time something would go down, Liz, nobody had proof of anything. It was always just Liz by herself. Even when a cop was sitting outside her house and somebody still got into her house, the cop didn't see anybody. It didn't make sense to me. When Finn was right next door to her room, the door was locked. And Finn didn't notice anybody running down the hall or nothing like that. So it never made sense. I'm like, Liz got to be doing this to herself. And I remember a clip from back in the day after she had got raped and stuff like that, and she was talking about the case. And she was talking about the details of what happened. This was way back in the day. I think Lucky was with her. She was telling the lady about DID and how she just, had an out of body experience. Like her body was just broken up into two or something like that. Like she was just split up into two people or something. She was talking about that, and I remember that clip from back in the day. And she mentioned DID and all that stuff, and she felt like that's what she could have had. I wouldn't be surprised if Liz has DID because, going through traumatic experiences and stuff, it could bring that out in you. So I wouldn't be shocked. Because she wanted to call Chelsea, and she was acting like a nutball. Like the vase done fell on the floor. She talking about, oh, that was Franco because Franco don't like y'all talking about. He's mad at y'all for talking about him. I'm like, okay. She was acting like a straight nut. And she was like, oh, I know y'all think I'm a fool or something. Laura was trying to be diplomatic. It was like, no, we don't think that. Yeah, we think that. We think it. We think you're crazy. That's what we looking at you like you nuts. Laura and Kevin pretty much was kind of trying to pacify her. And, Finn was trying to be there for her, but Finn was just like, listen, I don't believe in Chelsea. Finn was being a little too raw, a little too honest. I'm like, Finn, even though you don't believe in the spiritual world, because Liz was sitting there talking about, oh, she got more faith or belief in the dead than she does the living, or more trust in the dead than she does the living. I'm like, okay. But, Finn was pretty much trying to give her the real. Like, listen, I don't believe in this. I think Chelsea's a quack. I don't think she's really, connecting with Franco. And, Liz was getting irritated by that because she felt like he wasn't supporting her. Like, he just didn't believe her or whatever. And I'm like, Finn, just play along with her. Humor her, basically. You know what I'm saying? Even if you don't believe in the spiritual world, humor her. Because all you're doing is agitating her and pissing her off. And that's pretty much what she was. And she told him to leave. So he met up with his daughter and stuff and Gregory. when they were at Kelly's, and he had put headphones on Violet so he could talk to Greg about what's going on with Liz. And he told Greg, he was like, I don't know what's going on, but he was like, I feel like it's a real person doing this. He was like, every time, something goes down, we don't find anybody. And that's when Violet was like, because the only person that's ever there is Elizabeth. I said, Finn, you better listen to the child. The child is pretty much telling you what's going on. Liz is doing this to Liz, like I've been saying. Well, I've been thinking that, it's a possibility. And now we got confirmation pretty much because Liz left out of Kevin and Laura's house. They was panicking, looking around for her. And she went back to her place and she found a picture that Violet drew of Elizabeth and Finn and her and all that stuff. She tore Violet and Finn out of the picture. I was like, yeah, that pretty much proves that Liz has been doing this all along. I had a feeling because let me tell you something. Liz has been through a lot of traumatic things. When she thought Jake died, when she had that fake mental breakdown, when Lucky was married to Siobhan, Franco's death, her rapist coming back. She's been through a lot of traumatic stuff. She experienced a lot of death, her house blowing up, all type of mess. She just been through a lot of shit. So I'm not surprised that she finally cracked. Now they just need to figure out how to get her some good help because that's what she gonna need right about now. A good therapist. They need to take her to Shady Brook, get her nice and checked out. But this was good though. This was a better episode. Hit the comment section. Let me know what you all thought about it, and I will see you all later. Have a great day. Peace.